my name is Olga Ptashnik. I'm an artist and illustrator, and this is first of my monthly videos about my work in progress and my life. And I really wanted to make it a video more than a text post because I think it's more personal, and I enjoy watching these videos from other artists. I think it helps to understand them better, their progress and approach in some deeper ways, and maybe it would be interesting for you to watch this video as well. Please let me know how did you like it. Sorry about my English and about my accent, but I think that's also a very personal thing, and it really shows who I am as a person, so please bear with me. And let's see what was going on in March 2024. It is my first spring at the British Islands, and after a long and rainy winter, it is just an overdose of flowers. They are everywhere, and at some point it just got the severest FOMO of missing out these beautiful moments. So I started to go outside to draw, first in the garden, then further and further away, just to be a witness and let myself out of this winter blues, winter stiffness, and see this beautiful spring coming, and to let myself draw something new. I would like to show some sketchbook drawings, but not because I think that each one is perfect, but because I like actually how my work evolved in the sketchbook. So I have a very strange relationships with sketchbooks, and as you know, a lot of artists make sketchbook tours, and I've done myself as well, but usually I have so many of them, and I tend to have a lot of different sketchbooks for each particular task, because some papers are fit for something, some are not, so it was a difficult thing to combine the sketchbooks and to choose the right one for the right drawing session. So yeah, finally I've decided that I need only one, and actually I still have more than one. I have like 3 more here, but they are for the projects, for book projects, and for drawing I have only one. But maybe that's because I use mostly these watercolors now, and this paper, it's Jackson's sketchbook. It really works well with this watercolor, so I don't know yet, but it is experimenting, and it's actually fun that in a lot of sketchbook stores I've seen how artists would make a guide through the stickers on the covers, and I thought, oh, well, I don't have any, but actually it's funny that each piece of this cover is somehow meaningful for me, because this green color, it is actually Morris paint. It is Williams and Morris, the British artist who made a lot of wallpapers and textiles, and he was a designer for beautiful home stuff. So it's pretty meaningful to me because I like it, it's beautiful, and it's actually quite sturdy for the cover. Also, this piece of paper, it is piece of Cambridge printed paper. It's so beautiful, I love it so much, and I don't know how they do it. It seems to be handmade or something, I don't know exactly, but it's just lovely. I love to use it as covers for sketchbooks, for this one as well, for example. And wildlife drawing was a session where I first draw some birds right in front of me, so it was really fun. And yes, I would like to show these drawings. It's not complete, it's not perfect, absolutely, but I found so much new ideas, and actually that brought me a lot of freedom, and I like the process of developing the sketchbook and developing the drawings. Usually I tend to worry too much and not to draw, but my goal for the month was to draw more, think less, and I think it started to happen in the end of the month, but still not as good as it would like to be. And actually I started it earlier than in March, but it was almost empty. And here you can just see that I've tried a couple of colors, and I liked how they lay on the paper, how they overlay each other. So I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I should think about it later. But actually, it developed pretty fast. So I've done only a couple of drawings in winter. I don't like them so much, but they were a beginning, and that's all right. And later, I thought about drawing some subjects because the weather was not really good, and I thought about subjects I like tea and teacups and flowers, and I just put them down here and thought maybe I will come back here later. This is the moment when I just couldn't resist to draw some flowers, because right near my home, like on the roadside, there was a huge field of these beautiful flowers, purple and white, and I just really couldn't leave them there without drawing them because they're just too good. And I've been trying to catch this gentle but sturdy form, because they're, how do they look like? They're quite interesting in shape, but at the same time they're so gentle, like absolutely gentle. And I've been trying to catch it. And what I liked here in this drawing, that I was going to explore the background as well, not only the flowers, because flowers are white here, and it's difficult to catch the white color. So I've tried to capture the background, and I enjoyed combining colors in order to get the green background, because it's just basically green. It was green grass, but I would just put more and more colors in order to have it very artisty and to have it more alive. And I really liked the result, so I would go to explore more a little bit of it. And actually I realized that I can even put some pink in it, and it was fun for me to explore, because I'm not so good with color, and usually I would use very limited palette. And actually for all the drawings in the sketchbook, I'm using this limited palette, of which this one is black and these are grays. So, and this is empty. I don't use this much, but yes, it's interesting to be limited, but on the other hand, I see how my relationship with color evolving, and I start to enjoy it more and more. I will see what will be going on with it. It's a strange drawing, but I wanted to bring it to life because I really like these flowers, and I thought that it would be amazing at night. And I've seen a white horse. This is a strange story, but I wanted to create an illustration more from these observational drawings, and I don't like the result. I don't like the horse, but I really praise myself for trying it. Maybe I will try more later, but I'm happy that I've tried. I'm happy that I went for it. Maybe I will do better. But here I like this piece as well, when in the night sky there are two beautiful spots of color. So yeah, these contrasts and these overlays just can go on and on. And on the first sunny days, I've seen 3 daffodils in my garden, and I just went out and started to draw them. Again, just trying different approaches. My goal was just to do it. Like, no question asked, just to spot beautiful pieces I like, and not to think too much. So I've really liked the different parts of the flower, and I wanted to play with these shapes, because you can see that in flower you can actually make them very different. It still will be a flower because it's so recognizable. So it's very interesting to play with these dimensions, and it's actually endless play, endless joy. So I tried different approaches to these different parts of the flower. And actually with daffodil, it's very funny that you can draw 6 petals and a strange thing in the middle, and it's gonna be daffodil, no matter the shape, no matter the ratio between these shapes. And it's I find it very funny, and I just like playing with it. For this flower, I actually went to the flower shop, and unfortunately it did not survive. I think this shop was really not caring too much about the flowers, because every other flower was dying there, and I just tried to find the best one, the best looking one, and unfortunately I don't think they have a good atmosphere there. I don't know, maybe it was some kind of disease, or maybe it was too hot, too cold, I don't know, but it died pretty quickly, unfortunately. It was beautiful, and it smells so good, and again it was just an experiment and an attempt to be brave. I'm not saying that I like this drawing, because I don't like this much, but just moving forward and filling in the pages, I decided to trust the process and to believe that it will lead me somewhere, and it actually sometimes it does. And for example, this drawing I like a lot, and later I've added some white stars to finalize this drawing, and I really like it. It's beautiful for me. And also this one, where I get some inspiration from the botanical drawings, from old botanical drawings, where they would dissect basically the flower. So I wanted to have a look at each part of this middle complex thing in the middle of the flower. And it was interesting, because usually we don't do that, and it's like a module thing, where you can actually take these details and you can construct anything you want from them. You can just build the house using these shapes. It's really funny exercise, and I wish I go back to it and do it more. And yeah, so with playing in this daffodil thing, with playing of ratio of the petals and this middle part, I thought that actually daffodils are comets. They're not even stars. They are stars, of course, because they always look like this in the grass, in the dark green grass, but actually they're comets, because they have these tails, these beautiful tails. I love this idea so much. I think I'm gonna use it for some illustration. Oh, I didn't finish this one, but I like the idea, and I want to. Yeah, I should finish more drawings, but usually this is how my sketchbook will look like. I have a lot of ideas, and not many of them are finished. But here I have a page from my old planner, when I planned in papers, and I wanted to track down how flowers in my garden evolve, because more and more flowers appear by the end of the month, and they change as well, each flower would change. So it was interesting to track this down. I did it in photos, so maybe I will fill this in, but I didn't make it on paper, unfortunately. So here's a session with wildlife drawing again. It was, I think I'm going to talk about it later, actually, because I have this two topics in the sketchbooks mostly. I have flowers, which I focused on in March, and I have birds, which are my favorite objects to draw. So I think I will talk about birds in the next videos, and here I just want to talk about flowers. So this drawing was my first plein air, when I decided to go for a landscape, and it was scary again, but I was looking for something not so obvious perhaps, and I have a garden, very beautiful garden nearby. It is like watched by some professionals, I don't know, it's very beautiful, and there is a lot of flowers there, but I didn't want to draw just flowers, because it would be just too straightforward. So I wanted some idea behind it, or some another approach. And actually what I was looking for was this beautiful frame in the trees. It was like a passage to another world, a passage to another room perhaps. So I really like the idea of separating the front and the background. And here is this fox. It's actually appeared in the end as a transitioner from this world to another one. It's maybe too much, but in the end I like the picture, and I started it in the outside and finished it at home, and I just loved to work on it and to see how layers would affect one another and how it will evolve in my hands. And actually I have this beautiful poem that was sitting in my head, and I was always looking for daffodils. Here it says, like, a crowd of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. And I had this idea sitting in my head, and I was looking at daffodils and trying to somehow to combine these words and the possible picture that would be in my head. And I really enjoyed this process, and I really like now to think about words when I look at the landscape, trying to find these ideas of the poetry so to read the landscape the same way as the poet did it. And for me it's really beautiful exercise as well. And I don't know much about English poetry, and I explore it every day, and it's getting more interesting and more interesting. And this fox, it's actually, you see, I didn't like the first attempt, and I had to draw some shapes. They are absolutely ugly, but it worked in the end on the second attempt. But yeah, not so easy. I don't draw foxes as often as I would like to. And this drawing, it's actually inspired by another poem. It's a poem by, I forgot the name, by Mary Oliver, and there it was a poem about starlings in winter, and she talked about that starlings have stars in their feathers. And I thought, yes, indeed, they have this. They are magical dark blue, indigo, blackish bodies with these white tips of feathers looking like stars, and I just found it absolutely mesmerizing comparison, and I wanted to show it as well. And also when I look at the flowers, I also see stars because they're white, they're bright white or yellow on this dark background, so I wanted to show it as well, and here it is. So I was just admiring different types of daffodils and wanted to show them in one picture. And it started just with flowers. I didn't know that I'm going to add a bird in the end, but yeah, just grew from here as a cloud of stars, as a dust, stardust. I just don't like this moment so much because, yeah, you see, I should avoid it, but yeah, too late. But still, I like this drawing very much. Okay, I feel like we have to move faster, but I just want to talk too much about drawings. And this drawing is from Richmond Gardens as well. It's a special part of the Richmond Park where there is a lot of flowers. It's a beautiful place, and there is a creek with amazing willow tree. And willow trees, they are just wonderful. They're absolutely lyrical, poetical, but now it's a special time when they have these young, fresh leaves popping out, and I just got absolutely in love with them because it looks like it is somehow a fairy light or something, because you can see this skeleton of the tree with these vertical lines of young branches, and on them there are like tiny bulbs of light. There are these young, beautiful, fresh green leaves, and I just wanted to show this really, and to add the contrast between this light green leaves, I wanted to make the background darker, and it all started with actually a tree and a creek, and again it later evolved a little bit, and just adding a little sparkle of this white paper boat was some kind of magical touch to the drawing, because it became more an illustration, more a story than a drawing, and I really like this switch in the end. So here I tried new pens, the watercolor pens. I'm not so much in love with the drawing, but I like the point of view for this drawing, because it was just a fountain in the garden, and actually there were quite a lot of ways to draw it, and I thought, okay, maybe I can just flip it over and use it as a map, draw this garden as a map, not as from the point of view of person who is sitting beside the fountain, but from the bird's point of view. And I really like this approach, so even though I don't like the drawing, I like the result. And with these pens, I actually broke this this concept of making final illustrations in the sketchbook only, because, well, this is beautiful drawing, I like it, and here is something that I don't like, and actually it helped me to get looser. And here, after I saw a grey heron just walking around this fountain, and I started to draw it, and I had this very useful medium, this watercolor brush. It's easy to draw, it's fast to draw, so it was fun to just sketch in the sketchbook. It was fun to do. I didn't have any expectations from this. I just wanted to catch the movements of the bird, and I will tell about it later in this video that I will make about birds and so on. But actually it helped me a lot to lose any expectations of the sketchbook and just to make drawings and to start them, not to care too much. And here are some more drawings, and I think that I will talk about, they're all unfinished, and I will explain you why. So when I thought about making something big for the end of the month, I thought about painting a picture, a large one, and I thought about this concept of still life, and I wanted to add more to this, because there are a lot of British painters who draw mainly ceramics and flowers, and it is a very popular topic, and I love so many of them. I will show here some of my favorites, and I've been really looking up to them and drawing my inspiration from them. And yeah, I wanted to have some connection with that, and but I wanted to add something from myself, and this something was to add something from landscape, and to add some kind of reference to the point where I am. So it is my first year in the British Islands, and I cannot help but notice that all my work is being inspired by the places I live in, so obviously it should be, and I want it to be inspired by the British Isles. And I started to think what I can draw about it, and I thought about combining landscape and still life, flowers, which are the topic of the month for me, and maybe even more, and maybe some text, and I didn't know how to combine it in one picture, but then I realized that I like scrapbooks. Do you know what the scrapbook is? It's a very interesting thing, and when I thought of the scrapbook page for my drawing, I thought that's a really nice idea, maybe I should work on it. And here I'm trying to find composition for the drawing, and I'm not so patient about it, so I really, not knowing what I'm going to have in the end, I went for painting itself because I just want it to be done. I just need to see the result because otherwise it's not so interesting. And but I've done some good things, I think, in the sketches. So first of all, I like to use collage for composition because it really simplifies a lot of things. It doesn't let you to go into the details. Like here, for example, I went into realistic details, all this stuff. I don't need this for composition. For composition, I need shapes. I need to see negative spaces in betweens and stuff like this. So it was very useful to make it. And also in collage, you can edit pieces just like this. So it's more like very easy way to find the proper composition. And so from this I started my painting, and let's see what happened. So here is some progress, and actually I quite like the current result. I expected the watercolors to be more dense on this base, and on one hand, I'm a bit disappointed in the density, but on the other hand, I like how gentle it is, how subtle, and maybe it's something new, some new voice, and kind of new approach. And maybe I will try to put a second layer, because in this part I did it in 2 layers, and it's quite rich and vibrant now. And here I only used 1, so yeah, we'll see. And for the moment it's getting more interesting, and I'm using this sketchbook and drawings in it for references. I'm using references that I've shown of the pottery, and I'm going to add flowers to this piece as well. So I hope to finish this today, and we'll see how it goes.